Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Spence, and I was tasked to summarize Chapter 16, Is There Any Other Way, by Murray Sidman. Murray Sidman first starts out discussing coercion and how society perceives coercion. He states that the people object to coercion on emotional bias rather than specific evidence. He discusses how punishment and negative reinforcements are used with coercion, and it kind of goes hand in hand. And that the success justifies using coercion, but then again, over time, the success and what they think are happening is not working anymore. The second part of the chapter is called a guiding principle. And here's where he discusses the difference between positive reinforcement and coercion. He basically states that right now, if we don't have coercion, there is no other alternative. People go in here and they think they need coercion to shape how people are working. So example would be, he talks about how people could be docked 2 hours of pay if they arrive late, or the boss will chew them out. However, he proposes that positive reinforcement, which is not coercion because it is not negative reinforcement or punishment, it has the same outcome, possibly even better. He states that it doesn't control behaviors like coercion, but there is more of a chance that people will do what you ask them to do, and they will stop acting badly if you use positive reinforcement. He talks about how coercion is throughout our everyday life, how there's always that possible punishment or negative reinforcement through everything. Example would be that he talks about gun laws or freedom of the press, that we wouldn't have freedom of the press without the threat of coercion, without that threat of being censored, basically. He talks about how if we do use those things such as censoring people or managing criminal rehabilitation and things like that, with coercion, it's not going to work. But if we change it and shape it with a positive versus a negative, then it might actually do more good. So like saying thank you costs nothing, but it could help out in the long run. It could change somebody's attitude. Or instead of saying no, say, why don't we try it this way? Or put it in another term. Children, they don't know what no is until they are taught that no is a bad thing. So if we instead say, let's do it this way, or how about we try this instead of the specific no, then there might be a better outcome. I found it a really interesting chapter, and how he thinks that positive reinforcement is more effective than coercion, but he also says that coercion is kind of in our everyday life, and we just need to kind of reshape and look at how we can change that. So my question to you, and I'm going to type this into my post, my question to you is, what are your thoughts on how coercion has kind of shaped our everyday life, in the fact that if there is no coercion, then there would not be the idea of needing like laws and rules and regulations. And on the opposite side of that, like if you think that, or if you don't think that we need to have coercion, how could we possibly use positive reinforcements to shape and kind of make sure everybody like follows rules. So I'd like to hear your thoughts. Thank you.